Welcome, Taurus, to your June 29th through July 3rd reading. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. I know I'm getting these out a little late, guys, but it was my anniversary, so I did take a couple of days off, which therefore kind of messed the schedule up. But that's okay. We're going to go strong over here. Okay, my friends. Let's see what's going on with you. Best message, please, for Taurus. Message for Taurus, please. Prosperity begins. So having the prosperity begins over here. Ooh, I love it. Planting those seeds and having those, that fruit ripen. Love it. Okay, so talking about that wealth, prosperity, and new business, the hard work and past efforts that you have towards these investments are now coming through. You really can see them as presented as a very good gift to you guys. Just make sure that you're still diligently planning everything that you're doing. Okay, so any recent endeavors that you are doing, there are great possibilities for these promises and monetary gains to start actually showing and popping up. We had already talked about this, I think, in the numerology, about how we are seeing these things coming to light as we're putting through the extra effort for the situation at hand. So expect the best and envision that the project and new job have the successful result. So really feeling that, knowing it, and putting yourself right there for the stabilization in the situation itself, guys. Right. So, and really keeping that focus and that mindset that everything you're doing is actually coming to fruition. Okay, so, and as we said before, you know, little by little, conflict and defeat, really getting past that, conflict and defeat for the triumph. So really triumphing over anything that you had as obstacles and challenges at the end of the month. We're definitely going to be jumping those hoops and those logs and not feeling imbalanced. Wow. Because we have the triumph in the middle of the situation. It's saying where you may have felt a little imbalance about the situation due to any kind of conflict or obstacle, you are definitely triumphing past that. You're moving past that with victory as you're watching the prosperity actually start to begin. Not moving on from the situation, but that's okay, because not moving on from that situation is saying I'm putting it behind me. I don't really need to move where I'm going from, right? I just need to jump the hurdle and continue forward. We're not changing the path. We're victoring past it. No, you can't make me move. I'm not going to move like that. I'll just jump you. Love it. And this is because you have made the wise choices. So there's going to be a lot of wise choices coming towards this end of the month, the beginning of the month, to where you're going to actually become more knowledgeable about how to actually jump these hoops and really watching these things come through for your desired outcome. But you have this want, and it's because of the desire of the want to have is what's actually bringing it forward. So there it is, more patiently planning the situation as the more as it comes to you. It feels like you have a message or some kind of unexpected news coming to you, my friends, about the situation that's going to bring you into a firmer foundation and achievement of the situation. So, but it's definitely something that's going to make you choose a little wisely over here about this new decision. There's definitely a message coming through. I can feel that. And it's about intention at the bottom of the deck. So I do have these new cards I got for my anniversary. So let's get into these. I got 2 new decks, guys. So, okay, let's go. So getting on top of this conflict that you're just going to jump right over this obstacle is expectation. Expect it. Expect this to happen, because without the expectation, you're not going to get exactly where you need to be, right? So having the expectations, and this actually feels like it's also going to meet the expectations. I also feel that as well. So there's the message. Bam, knew it. There's a message of victory coming through the situation. There was an expectation you can actually do this on your own, but then when this message comes through, it's like, oh, well, okay. Well, shiz, you know. So you knew pretty much, and you know right now in the knowing with the wisdom over here, I'm going to get through this, right? There's nothing going to hold you back. But with this message coming through, it's going to actually help you not feel like a prisoner anymore within the mind. So now everything you expected to have come through at the end of the month, you're saying, wow, okay, this is even better than I expected. Wow. So how beautiful is that? So with the imbalance over here, it's about the distant horizons coming through, where you felt like there was despair. Well, that's where the imbalance was kind of coming through in its own way, was because of the despair that you had. But the message is going to say, it's okay. You know, you've been busting your butt. I understand. You know, it's like, here we go. You know, I do all this work, but I don't really see any progress now. Everything's going to be a little bit different because the distant horizon is coming on and saying, look at what's going on within your life now. There is this huge change with the 6 + 3 = 9 that's saying, I'm going to take this and bring it all to an end so that way you won't be in despair anymore. All that despair is going to change. It's going to all go away. The moving on, I want you to keep where you're going. For some of you who are getting married, I just have the marriage card come out. That's for somebody. So if you felt like this person was going to walk out on you, I don't know. I'm just going to bring this one out as a side over here. I'm hearing this. For some of you, it was about a marriage. Maybe you felt like your marriage is in danger, and you guys were going to walk away, and then now you're fixing the marriage, or you're going to get married, and you thought that they weren't going to follow through. Something of this nature. There's something going on with a marriage for some of you where you felt like it's kind of falling apart, and now it's fine. It's going to be okay now, one way or another, right? If you're despaired because, you know, however, take that how it resonates, but definitely about a marriage for some of you. For others of you, let's clarify again, because that's not going to resonate with enough, probably not enough people. So we'll get another card. It's talking about moving on from this mature man. Wow, it's still talking about the marriage thing too. Okay, so we have to talk about this marriage for a second because it's coming up too much. Okay, so I mean, that's the way this works. So putting this on the marriage over here, we have this mature man or woman, but there is this despair of being in poverty. I'm going to lose lots of things. But remember, you have this message that's coming through that says you don't have to worry about that. Everything's going to be better. You're going to jump this hoop. Don't worry about that. It does feel like you feel like maybe you're in some kind of poverty, some losing a lot within this marriage. You guys are not doing good, something of this nature. And then we'll get, come on, another message. So putting all those messages together, now we'll move on to, okay, here we go. Going back to the other side. So now we have two different sides going on over here. With the concerns over here, it's not going to be of a concern anymore, right? Because now you have the knowledge and the understanding to get to where the prosperity begins. No matter what, the prosperity is still within the setting of the marriage area over here, where you feel like there is some poverty, but your concerns are going to go away. So everything's coming together. Okay. So it's the thoughts and the wisdom of how you're going to get through things. Really using your analytical mind over here, whether it's business or marriage, or both, definitely bringing these aspects together and saying, I've got this now, because the thoughts of the wisdom and the analytical thinking are bringing out the truth of the situation of how I'm going to get to the desired area. Talking about your family and your house over here, okay? You do have, you know, doing all of this for your family, for your house, for your safety and security and stability. Official person. Wow. So there's definitely some kind of a person over here who would be a boss. Somebody of a higher. That's where that message is coming from. It's coming off this way. For some of you, if you're feeling like you're going to lose your house because you were not able to pay the rent, you have this landlord, this official person who's coming in. They're giving you this message that they can work things out for you. Could be a mature woman, landlady, children. That's really going back on that marriage area again. Something about a marriage. Definitely feeling like for somebody you guys are going to lose your house. You cannot find a job or something, but the prosperity is beginning because everything at the end towards the beginning of the month looks good. It's almost like you got what you need through this mature woman. She's giving the gratitude and the innocence towards the situation. So a lot of innocence and a lot of gratitude coming through this situation as you're hopping this hurdle towards prosperity. For others of you who are not married or have any of that, it's just talking about this person actually helping you out to this situation for the stability within the situation of getting to the desired goal. Okay, where you don't have to feel the despair anymore. And there's going to be some kind of enlightenment in its own way. It's going to give you more of a mature understanding to a situation in which you've never seen before. But it's also, like I said, it's also more of an innocent kind of looking way to the situation. The patience and the planning is something that you never thought of to go this direction. So actually, even though you're not really moving away from the direction that you already have, because it's actually going to push you into that area, you're just thinking. You're not really 100% moving away from the desired dream of that you're going. You are thinking about the new discernments and the new ideas of how to continue to the path that you have, but bringing it all back together. So with the pathway upside down, it's saying, because I don't want to change the path, I just want to patiently plan around the path. It's saying the same exact thing it did here. So that's just finding the new ways around that. And that's very good. With the foundations and the gift, now there's the message coming in as it's coming off of this way. It's saying this is the gift, and it's coming from, like I said, that official person who could be this woman as well. But it's also saying that because we're going to give you more time, promotion, a new job, something, or you have found something that's going to enlighten the situation to where it's going to feel like a gift coming from the situation because you have the understanding. And understanding in a lot of ways can be its own gift because now you have that aha moment. So, and that's that gift of understanding from the universe to get to the firm foundations of the situation with the rainbow blessings. And then some of you are literally getting a gift. It could be the gift of I'll give you more time to pay your mortgage. I will give you more time to pay your rent, something of this nature. Put it how it resonates for you, my friends, but it's definitely coming. And then you have the lovers, and you also might even be getting a gift from your loved one as you guys are settling the situation. There's 3 or 4 different situations going on in this reading. It might all be one for some of you. The 3 scenarios might be all in one scenario. That does happen a lot. And you definitely could also be getting this gift from this love or a loved one. The gift is definitely in an abundance of the prosperity begins, but it's not of any great fortune. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not like you're winning the lottery. It's just enough to make you feel abundant and be able to move into the right decision and the right choices for the upcoming month. Right? To get yourself back on your feet, to get yourself back on track, to get yourself back to where the abundance is as the prosperity begins in this situation. Right? So let's get a tarot card out. Yeah, it's using your intuition about the situation is the only way to do this because your intuition knows exactly where you need to go. There is some kind of secret that you could be keeping to yourself about this. Are you keeping this message a secret from your loved one as it comes? Going to tell them at the right timing? Did you get this message already, Taurus? And now you're going to tell them about this message, but you haven't said anything just yet because you're still using discernment about the situation. There's a huge possibility for some of you. Okay. And that's because you're looking to the cup to see where you're going to put all of this gratefulness that's coming towards you. It's almost like you haven't figured out exactly where to put the situation. You can't really do that until you give it the knowledge, the thought, and the understanding to the situation. So I do feel like some of you are kind of holding back, if you're holding back from this loved one, to allow them to understand where everything is coming from at this time. If you know it's not you, then it could be your loved one holding back this message. And it could definitely be a Pisces or a Cancer if you're dealing with this person. It doesn't have to be. But someone is holding on to this cup. Somebody, that cup is that message, which they're not sharing right away, right? So they're kind of cold shouldering the situation. That just means that they haven't said nothing about the message at this time, or you're not going to say anything at this time first, right? Because you're still trying to get past that despair and having that understanding and cutting through all of the stuff, right? So same thing. Yeah, discernment on the negativity, on the despair, on the negativity. Having nostalgic thoughts about the situation, whether it was within the marriage, of how the marriage was going before, having nostalgic thoughts on how to, maybe even thinking about how to actually talk to this person. If you guys have been having a rough, rocky relationship, maybe you're holding on to this because you're not sure exactly how to let them know that this is what I've been thinking. Maybe they don't listen very well. If you're definitely on a roller coaster, you might have communication problems at this time because of maybe money itself. Take that how it resonates. Otherwise, you're just holding back. For others of you who don't have a partner or anything, you could just be holding this message to heart yet before you even send this message out or you say anything to a friend or anyone. Because it is definitely the Ace of Wands. And you know it's the Ace of Wands, but you just feels like, you know, Taurus, you have to hold on to this because if the lizard is the dream, that's the dedication, that is the desire of the want and of the intention. So it's almost like putting your sacral chakra with the solar plexus to make this dream area of, that's what the lizard means. It means the dream. So holding on to that for this new beginning, but also, like I said, being in discernment about the situation before you make a move. Yeah, you ain't going to move yet because you want to make sure that this is exactly where the ship comes in. You already know it's going to be a good message. It's just that how do I use it and pertain it and use it wisely about the situation, or be able to make my loved one understand what this is going on, right? So with the Queen of Wands, it's actually encouraging the situation as you're talking to this official person, and this official person is talking to you. This official person could definitely, this giving out this message could be a Leo, and they're telling you, this is what I want. This could even be your mom and dad giving you some kind of money or something. And that could be the child, could be yourself. Yeah, because it's of the good choice and the good judgment call and of a blessing. So maybe if you're getting some kind of money from a grandparent or something, maybe your husband doesn't, or your wife does not like to take money. Maybe it's their parents giving you money. Maybe you don't like to have handouts, you know, something of this nature, but it's going to happen anyways, because this could be definitely inheritance. And I'm going to tell you right now, they might be sending you a bunch of money and maybe they have a hard time. We don't need to take someone else's money, right? We don't need a handout. We can do it ourselves. When you're saying, no, this is the way it has to be. See what I'm saying? But anyways, no matter what the situation is for you, my friends, you have the balance and you will get through the pros and cons of how to deal with the situation. Maybe you know, maybe it's you, maybe your parents are trying to do this, you know, within your family. You just don't want to like, no, Ma, I ain't taking that from you. But you have the imprints over here, so it's going to bring in a lot of harvest. And look, you're getting the gift no matter what, so it doesn't matter. The message is a gift, so you're going to get it. So you have the Six of Cups, whether you feel sad or guilty or don't want the handout, or they don't want the handout, or you know that you thought that you could do this all by yourself, but it didn't work that way. So you have this message of having this gift come through. It's going to have to, you know, it just feels like that's the way it has to be so that you can get inspired about the situation, right? And you have the Two of Swords. In the end, it's just going to, there it is, on top of the decisions. So it's just going to bring in more inspiration for you to plan on. And maybe that's all it is too, taking this gift and being discernment of which way to put this. I could save money and do it this way. Where am I going to put this and how am I going to keep all of this together? And then for others of you, trying to keep all of this alive and keep your marriage, right? And keep your marriage going nicely and firmly and beautifully. Whether you're having a rough time in the marriage or it's just you two together you know, really feeling like you're suffering from the, you know, from not having what you're having. But in the end, you're going to have your harvest and your prosperity with the Empress. So cooperation instead of competition. Now that makes me think of this marriage over here. Is this what it is? And it could also be on these other people over here, because we have a lot of people over here. We have a Sagittarius, a Leo, a Capricorn, and then we have a Pisces and a Cancer. I have Cap twice. So what's yours is yours. No one can take it away from you. There's no need to compete. And there's an abundance for everyone. But it also makes me feel like, you know, for somebody in a marriage, maybe they don't like that because maybe they feel like, you know, there's some kind of competition of who's going to get what or what. And maybe, you know, however it is. But just remember, you got that. Facing your financial fears. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that, in fact, have nothing to fear but fear itself, and that every successful person has struggled with and released, these self-doubts. Been there, done that one. Okay. So no matter how it is, just make sure, and it says at the bottom of the deck, always have a quiet retreat for yourself, so that way when you are thinking about the situation, you know exactly what you're doing. And also remember to save that money. You know, if they are giving you a big handout, remember, you know, and maybe that's what you're thinking about too. I'm going to save half of this money over here, and then I'm going to go pay this bill over here. However it is, my friends. Okay. And that was it for you. Until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.